today we are going to read a small data set and we are going to do all the possible manipulations. Okay, so let's get started. As we have seen, this was our previous videos continuation. So if you have not gone through all the previous videos, you please go through that, and all those videos are present in the same playlist. And let me clear all the unnecessary cells. Okay, so yeah, we will remove that as well. So we are reading an example one CSV, and let me show you the content. This tails and heads I have covered already. Let me open this. Yeah, so our content is this. We have 5 rows with 6 columns, and if you want to see what are the, so this is how we are going to see what are all the available columns. So I have already told you can write df dot and then you can click on tab to see all the available functionality. So if I simply dot tab, you can see I will click C to filter out, and then COL. Yeah, so this is my function. Shift enter. So that was our columns, and this is how we are going to see what are the data types, and we can also do the conversion, and for that we can use different functions, or yeah, we can do it directly. But yeah, this is our data types, and if we see what are the data frame, okay, so df is nothing but data frame, and we can see that we are getting columns and it data type. So let's try to see what is the type that we are getting from this. Okay, type, we'll simply write type, and in functions we will write whatever type we want to know. So you can see series. Okay, so if you see that this is also returning something similar to that of this. Okay, but why this is giving me as a series? The data type of this object is series, and the data type of this is like df is a data frame. Okay, if you don't know, let me write type and let me execute this. You can see this is a data frame, but this is a series. So what's the difference? Okay, so let me show you the output of both, and then I can comparatively show you. Okay, so here you can see if you have, okay, what is data frame? Data frame is nothing but a collection of series. I hope this line clears all the doubts. Okay, so see, when I try to fetch one column or one row out of data frame, that is series. So that's how we can define that data frame is nothing but a collection of series. So why this was an important to know? Because the functionalities of series will be different, and the functionalities of the data frame will be different only on some functionalities, but overall the concept will remain same. Okay, now if you have seen, we have different data types, that is floats, objects. Okay, so we'll try to get the summary of the data. Okay, we don't know anything about the data, this is completely new, so we try to get the summary. So I'll do shift enter. If you can see, I have 4 columns. So you can see we are getting 4 columns only. Why so? Okay, because when we try to write describe, it try to fetches us mean, standard, mean, all this. Okay, so this can be applied only on the numerical values. Okay, this cannot be applied on something which is column 5 and column 6. So if you want to see what is there in that, let me try to fetch that data frame. What is the column name? Col 5. Okay, so if I see the content is hello world, foo, nan, sam. Okay, so this nan is a not a number kind of thing. So this came because in the Excel sheet I have given an empty value, column 5, column 6, empty value. That's why I am getting a nan. So yeah, our concept wise, because it cannot, describe cannot be applied on what we can say the string data types or the object data types. It is not worried about that, but it is getting us the result from the numerical data types. I hope that is clear. But what if we want to know about the summary? Because describe is nothing but the summary of data set, and we are not getting the summary of all this. So our next task will be to get the summaries of these two. Okay, first we'll try to understand what is data set, how the behavior, then we'll try to do all the algorithms and all the manipulations. So that's how we proceed. So first try to understand the data set. So here we are clear with the 4 columns. Next we will see that this object in, okay, so I'll create one more cell, and if you can see df dot d types, this we have already executed. This is giving us various data types. So I'll see, so this is not the value. Okay, I mean, if you see call 1, call 2 is not the value. Our values is float 64 objects. Okay, so we'll see which of them is our object. Okay, so if I say this is a series, right? So whatever I am comparing, the series, it will be like on the first value of that series, that is on float 64, this operation will be applied. Then on the second value of series, that is float 64, this is going to be applied. So if I execute this, you can see I am getting whether it was a false, because first was float is equal to object, no, so false. And the fifth was object is equal to object, yes, true. So that's how I am getting all the boolean values. Okay, so this decision making I am going to use for all kind of filtering and getting some required columns or attributes or records. Okay, so this is how I'm going to get the series. Okay, let me show you what is the data type of this as well. Okay, d type is not defined. D type, okay, is it d types? What is that? D types. Okay, maybe I need to write it here, dot d types. Okay, so you can see this is a bool, maybe it is applying on a value. Okay, that's fine. I think this should be some different values. Let me see how we did df data types, that is on data frames, on series. Okay, similarly we can try to get or convert this, whatever output we are getting, this we will store it in some value. So here we can see that I am storing all the values. Okay, so this is going to return me a boolean. Okay, boolean arrays. Okay, and that I am storing in a parameter called object index. So I can see object index has all this. So let me print this as well. So by default whatever the last line I am having, that will be printed, but otherwise if I want to print multiple lines, I need to use the print function. Okay, let me try this. 1 second. Okay, so let me object index dot d types, and I need to print this as well. So since I am writing this on the last line, I need not to write print function on that, but I can write. So okay, this is still boolean, fine, and object index value is this. Okay, so I am basically having all the array, which is going to help me in filtering based on the data type that I wanted. So now if you can see data frame dot data types. Okay, so basically data types I am calling, at the time I am getting all the data types of all the indexes. Okay, all the indexes means all the columns. So here I don't want the index, all of them. So here that's why I am passing an array of boolean, which is going to give me the result only for those for which index is true. I hope that is clear. So for all the false I am not getting any result, but where I am having true, right, so there I am going to get this output. Okay, so this was my execution. Okay, now you can see that I am able to filter out. Okay, now I am going to use this filter to get the description. Okay, so then we will get the summarize of the other two columns as well. Now here you can see this df.dtypes.object_index, I am able to access those columns whose data type is object. Now if I try to execute this much, okay, plus here if I try to execute this, you can see I am able to fetch, no, not this one, yeah. So here I am trying to fetch the index. So index here is column 5, column 6. So what does index means? Okay, so as I've told you here, if you can see df data types of something is giving me index and its values. So here column 5 is index, its value is object. Column 6 is index, object is value. So I want to access the index of this, so that's why I am writing dot index. Now indexes will be there in my this. Let me write here as col index, like column index. Okay, and this column index I want to get the summary of. So you can see now instead of writing df.describe, where the default thing is it will describe me about the numerical thing, I am trying to filter out. Okay, you can see now I am getting everything about column 5 and column 6. So you can see the count of that column 5 is 4, how many unique values are there, top means I can see the maximum or that arrangement will be done in that which is the value that we are getting the most, or if in the arrangement what is the value that we are getting on the topmost. So here frequency is 1 because all the values are unique. So if you can see, we have 4 types of values and all 4s are, but records are 5, right? So one value is nan, so that's why we are not considering the nan value. Let me try to print that for you once. This was our data type, right? So call5 is this hello world foo nan. This nan is not a number, so if you remember, we have left it empty, that's why we are getting nan, so that is not a value. So how many the count means all the rows which is having values, so that is 4. And how many unique values we are having? Hello world foo sum. Okay, 4 unique values. So since all are unique, the frequency is 1, and that's what we are getting. Okay, I hope that that is clear. Okay, and now that's how we are going to filter and get the description or summary of everything. Now we are going to so in all these things we are using an index a lot. Okay, so if you have not seen the indexing videos previously, please go and cover that and then come. Okay, now we are going to see this data frame call5 we are trying to access. Okay, so let me tell you this thing. If you want to access a column, right, you will use this. Okay, you will enter your column name. Okay, column 1, I want to access column 1. So but the default is when we don't write this column, everything it wants to access, so that's why it is fetching us everything. But we want to say I want only column 2, so it will give me column 2. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But what if I want to get column 1 and column 2? Okay, so in that case I cannot write column 2, okay, or column 3. I cannot write in this way because data frame is expecting what? So what it is expecting? Can we get it from shift tab? No. Can we get it from tab? No. Okay, so here we are trying to access multiple columns. So in that case I need to provide it a value. So when it is a single value, I can provide it directly. So the statement that I am going to mention now, it will be applicable throughout the Python. Okay, so if I want to give a value, I can give a value single. If it is a single value, I can give it directly. Okay, but if I want to give multiple values, in that case I need to use this list. Okay, so the value that I am going to provide is not a single value, but the value that I am going to provide is a list. So now I can send it column 3, you see. And if I am passing a list, it is not like I cannot pass a single value in the list, I can pass that as well. Okay, now let's try to see what is the difference when I pass a list and what I pass a value directly. Okay, so here again I am going to write d types. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so that was my bad. The correct function is type. Okay, so if I try to get this, I am getting a data frame. That is, when I pass a list, it is assuming that I am asking for multiple columns, so it is giving me data frame. But if I want to ask for a single, you know the difference between series and data frame. So if I now try to get a single value, you can see it is a series. Okay, so our intention was to get multiple columns. We can do that. Okay, now as time passes, we'll try to get different parts of the data set. Okay, so yeah, that is fine. So you can see here I am trying to find the data types and I am trying to fetch the column. So our data type was series and this is our data. Okay, similarly, yeah, this is also same. Now here you can see I am passing list to get multiple columns. Okay, and yeah, so that was how we are accessing columns. Now we will see how to access rows. So let's keep df as it is. Now when I am trying to access rows, I can either mention that first tab is like column. So if you can see in the Excel sheet, let me see. Okay, so if I click on this, what is the first thing that you can see? A is nothing but a column name. Okay, so first it is getting the column and then it is writing a row. So D2 means first is a D column and the 2 is a row. So that's what we are doing here. I am first mentioning my column and then I am mentioning my row. So I want to get the first row. You can see, so the column 1 is okay, let me try to get the data again. df. Okay, so you can see column 1 is this one and then I am accessing the index 1. So one index is this one. So if I try to get 0 index, Okay, I hope this makes sense because I have shown you Excel sheet as well. So this is like a matrix kind of accessing. Okay, so now if we have lakhs of records, so in that case I cannot go on writing because column names will be limited but not the record. So in that case what I'll do is I can say that I want 0 to 4 or I can say 3 records. So in these 3 rows, that is 0 to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 will not be in considered because this is we call it as 0 is called as a lower limit and 3 is called as a upper limit. So I try to access it now. So you can see it got me 0, 1, 2, but on this we applied filter that I want only column 1. Okay, so if I don't mention this, will it work? You see, so here it is giving me all the records but without applying a filter called column. I hope this works. Okay, now if I don't know what is the end, okay, and if I start reading from 1 and I don't tell it that my end is something and I want all the records till the end, so in that case I'll simply remove this. Okay, so empty space means since it is a upper bound, if I don't mention anything I'll get everything. Now let me see. So you can see from 1 it is going till the end and it is giving me everything. So this is like simply like an array indexing. Okay, and if I want to get till 3 but I don't mention where to start, so it will like by default it will take the 0, that is the starting value. So you can see now it is giving me from 0 to 2. So that's how we access it, and if I don't mention anything, upper limit or lower limit, it will get me from the starting to the ending. Okay, so now you see we are getting everything. Yeah, so that's how we are accessing row. So there are other ways as well, but for now this was in our scope. In the coming topics we are going to cover other ways of accessing rows as well. Okay, so now if you can see, before doing any modification I want to show you the existing dataset. So we have column 6 and now I am going to create a new column and that column name is column 7. So you can see if I try to access it, I can access using this format, col6. Okay, but if I want to create a new or modify or delete anything, in that way also I need to mention this format, that there is a df new col7 whose value I am assigning it as a d point. Okay, now I am not saying that which record, that's why it will apply for all record. So since you have seen, when I write this kind of thing, it will give me all the records because I have not filtered anything on the rows. So it is giving me everything. That's why when we are assigning a value, at that time if I don't mention which record to be used to assign that value, it will assign it to every record of that column. So now you can see a new column is created. Let me execute this. A new column is created and to all the records d point value is assigned. So is it like if I create one more record, you have seen that this column was not there, so it got created. But if that column is already there, in that case what will happen? Okay, here I will write d point modified. So now you can see if it was there, it got modified. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we'll see next thing. Okay, so here as we have seen in the previous video how to get different functions. So here we are trying okay, so this complete video, right, we are trying to get every possible information about the dataset. So categorical, okay, what does categorical says? So if I try to see df col6, here you can see col6 have multiple values. So if I try to filter out based on what are the available categories or unique values, I can say, but there is a difference between unique and categorical, so that you go and Google it. But because that will be useful when we are trying to apply categories, or we can say filters, okay, while doing you can say fetch operations, or while applying new modifications, that is updating them. So in that, for selecting and filtering, we are going to use the categories and unique in a different data types. Okay, but for now, since we have a small set of data, you can see that both will work in a similar manner. But when we are using a big data set with complex data types, it will have its own values. Okay, let me shift enter. So you can see in the column 6 we have 4 different types of values, and for unique also it is giving me 4 like whatever values I am having. But here in categories, nan is not a value. Okay, so it doesn't consider that as a category. So you can see it read, but in categories it is giving me 4, so it is not considering nan as a value, but it is a unique, right? So even in our Java language, or we can say set, in Python you have read about set, so there if nan is coming for the first time, that is fine, but if it is repeating again, okay, that makes sense, that is a unique. Okay, so this is a value which is not considered. So unique talks about values which we can do something. Okay, so here we can see there is a 4 objects, nan is not considered, in the unique it is considered. So this was our data frame again. Now yeah, so in the column 6 you can see there are some empty values as well. Okay, so if I try to say is null, so what is there any other parameters that I can pass? Let me see. Df dot is null, it doesn't expect anything. Okay, so it should be called by the data on which we want to apply these functions. So let me execute this. You can see I am getting is this a null? No, so I am getting false. Is this a null? Yes, so I am getting true. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so is null is used for that. Now why do we need to check for is null or not? So this gives us again one more idea about how the data set is there, and if we try to go for any kind of, you can say, computation, we need to make sure that we are handling null values before entering into any kind of, what we can say, computations. Okay, now here we are going to filter again. Is null is false, true, fine. Now this is just to show that we can take decision based on the boolean values as well. So false is equal to true? No, so that is false. But true is equal to true? Yes, so that was true. So that's how we are going to use this again to filter. Okay, but we can use it directly because it is giving us boolean values, but just to make sure that we are in sync with other data types, I am using this. Okay, so now I am using a where. So if you are familiar with database queries, you can say that we filter based on where, and we do group by, and we have multiple kinds of classes. So in this video we are going to cover 2 classes, that is where class and group class. So as we have done filtering already, it might be easy for you to understand. Okay, so df call is null is equal to true, is going to return us this kind of boolean arrays. Now here we are simply saying wherever in this data frame. Okay, in this data frame we are going to make sure that wherever we are getting, okay, so if I execute this, I'm going to get some arrays which I am storing in row index. So you can see this is giving me 3. What 3 means, let me show you here. So this is false, this is false, this is false, only 3 is true. So as we have seen previously where we called dot index to get the index value, here instead of calling index I am simply using dot where. So if I search for that dot index, so here previously we used called dot index, but instead of that I can also call where. Okay, where is it? Dot where. Yeah, so here I am using where to get the indexes. So the only value that I got was 3 because it was the only true where I am having a nan value. So I am simply fetching those rows in which I have a nan values. So here you go. Okay, so next we'll move what happened. One second. Yeah, my statement was wrong. This is like in column 6 wherever we have nan, that we are fetching. Okay, in this column 6 wherever we are nan, we filtered that and we are fetching that record. So this was one more way of filtering. Okay, so previously we filtered column, now we filtered row. Okay, so that's how we are accessing a value based on our where conditions, or we can say conditions. Okay, yeah, so now I want to do some more manipulation. So like appending, okay, adding new data set or concatenating new data sets. So those things we are going to cover. So that will again take more than near to 15 to 20 minutes. So for today that's it for now. So today we see how we are filtering rows and columns based on the conditions. Okay, yeah, that's it for now. So with respect to the function that we have covered so far, and with respect to data or nan, if you have any queries, please write down in the comment section. So that's it for now. Thank you.